Hey there, friends and enemies. Shopi here again, and today I want to go over my top 5 franchises I would love to see get their own Universes Beyond sets in Magic the Gathering. Now, I'm not going to rehash any franchises that have already gotten their own entry. For example, you won't see Marvel on this list. I'm going to do a separate video of 5 Marvel ideas that we could see for future sets because there is that big Marvel collaboration that's still ongoing. I'm also not going to talk about any franchises that I believe have been heavily rumored or are already in the works, such as like Star Trek or anything like that. These are franchises that I think not only will fit thematically, but also have a lot of opportunity to have a wide range of cards that could be very, very successful. And starting off, as you can see on the screen, I'm going to jump into Suikoden. And this one might be my most off the wall suggestion, but there's a couple reasons that I believe this would be a good fit. First and foremost, we're seeing a revitalization of the franchise. It's getting its own anime. It's got a mobile game that's dropping soon. It just had a remaster of the Suikoden 1 and 2, which was very good, very well received. So I think because this is gaining steam, gaining popularity, a Magic crossover would make a lot of sense. You have a lot of different characters to choose from with the various Stars of Destiny. You also have a lot of monsters you can pick, as well as bosses that would make a lot of sense. And I do believe that because of the wide range of options, there could be a ton of potential cards that would be successful. And not only that, but I do think because the franchise is picking up steam, now would be the perfect time. And I think you can include some very cool art on some of those cards, even though this is probably, like I said, it's a little bit off the wall for a lot of people. But for me personally, thematically, there's just a lot of reasons why I think this would go very well, especially when you look at like Suikoden 2, which has a lot of dark themes. So that would make a lot of sense to me personally. And I feel like this would fit very, very well. Again, how they do the art would be interesting, but I think they can make it work and make it look very, very good. Next up, I want to talk about Warhammer Fantasy. So I'm cheating a little bit because obviously we've had Warhammer 40k in the discussion previously, but for me, this is a flagging franchise that could use some revitalization. 40k is getting all of the headlines recently. It's already had its own Magic set, but I do think, again, thematically, Warhammer Fantasy would make a lot of sense. There's a lot of characters to choose from. There's a lot of enemies. There's a lot of magic weapons, magic abilities. There's just everything right there that would just seamlessly fit. Now, it might be too on the nose, which is what I would understand why this wouldn't make perfect sense, because there'd be a lot of crossover. You can see here we've got griffins and stuff like that, so all of that would already be included. We've got orcs and goblins and everything, but imagine you are able to make a Skaven deck, for example, that have the rat name. Now you have a full rat deck and it's just a Skaven army essentially. I think that could be really, really cool. There's a lot of named legendary potential creatures in Warhammer that would be very, very interesting cards. You could have some unique concepts and designs, and I just think overall this would be the most on the nose crossover we could potentially get, because it just seems to fit so well. And we've gotten past crossovers that made a lot of sense that just fit thematically as well. You look at Dungeons and Dragons and all of that, those were kind of on like perfectly aligned crossovers that just would seamlessly fit into the Magic universe. So I think this is more of a pipe dream because I don't see it happening because of how underwhelming the publicity for Warhammer Fantasy has been over the years, but I think this could be very, very successful overall. Then we get to Destiny 2. Now, okay, hear me out. Again, this is one that I feel like a lot of people are going to question. But for me personally, if we're going to have more space themes, we saw it with Edge of Eternities, again, rumors that we're going to get like Star Trek, maybe Star Wars in the future. I think Destiny makes the most sense for Magic the Gathering for a couple different reasons. You've got your legendary characters, right? That could be legendary creatures. You've got weapons, but you've got space magic. So you could really lean into that, like a Nova Bomb, which is a big, powerful void ability that you throw through the air. Could be a cool looking card and would make sense magically for Magic the Gathering. I think there's a lot there. Look on the screen, you see this is Silk Strike, which is one of the super abilities for a hunter in Destiny 2. And you could use the ultimates, the super abilities, as cards themselves that provide bonuses to characters. Maybe you can attach them as like an aura or an enchant creature or something of that nature. You could have a lot more options with regards to your characters. Again, legendary characters would make a lot of sense. You'd have locations. There's just so much there that I think the space magic that Destiny provides is unlike a lot of other sci-fi type of franchises. And so I think that would be one that could be very, very successful. And you could thematically make a lot of sense, especially because like multiple different races in the universe. You've got monsters as well. You've got Ahamkara, which are giant wish dragons. Could be absolutely insane. So overall, I think this is one that I would personally love to see. I know, again, I'm a Destiny fan, so this might be more of a pipe dream than anything. But I think if I'm breaking down sci-fi franchises that I would love to see, this would be high up there. There's another one called the Deathstalker trilogy. It's some books that I think are a little bit under the radar. That was another one that I think, if we're going sci-fi, could be good because it has fantasy elements as well. But because Destiny has so many fantasy elements, I think it would make a lot of sense. Mass Effect's another one that potentially, but I think Destiny would fit the best. Then we go to one of the more obvious ones that I think will come sooner rather than later, and that's The Witcher. Now, The Witcher has your legendary creatures. It's got monsters galore. It's got interesting lore. It's got everything that you might want. Plus, we do know that another Witcher game is on the horizon. We've got another season of The Witcher show coming up soon, so there is that crossover marketing potential that I think would entice Wizards of the Coast, Magic the Gathering, to really look into this deeper and see if they want to have a collaboration. There's also the magic of the world. There's so much there that I think could make sense with regards to Magic the Gathering, that I feel like this is kind of a no-brainer, and the one that of everyone on this list I think would be the most obvious. There's others that you could see instead of this one. I know there's been rumors about A Song of Ice and Fire, Game of Thrones, if you want to call it that. That I just feel like that doesn't have the diversity of Magic, the diversity of creatures to really make a great Magic set, whereas The Witcher, I feel like it's got unique monsters, it's got interesting looking ones, it's got a lot there to like. You could do something with the arsenal of weapons that the Witchers use, the arsenal of magic. So there's just so much, I think, to take from with a Witcher set that I think this would be incredibly successful, and one that I think would make the most sense of everything on the list. But the last one is going to be the one that I would most want to see, not just personally, but also because I feel like it would just be absolute perfection, and that is going to be Elden Ring. I think this game, we know that we're getting more Elden Ring in the future. Obviously, we just got Night Rain, which was a co-op spin-off. We got the Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. We've got an Elden Ring anime on the way. We've got other anime stories, other stories being told in the Elden Ring universe. But this has everything. It's got unique, interesting enemy types. It's got legendary creatures, not only with the characters that you meet along the way, the bosses that you would fight as well. All of those would make awesome cards. It's got magic. It's got arsenal of weapons. You could really have a ton of equipment in a Elden Ring set. And ultimately, I think the art style would be perfect in a Magic the Gathering set. It would just look absolutely unreal. So I personally would love to see this. I think you could go with the entire Souls-like franchise. You look at Dark Souls and all that stuff. But if you're gonna pick one game that would fit, you could do Bloodborne. I don't think that's one. You could do the Dark Souls series as well. That would make a lot of sense. I just think with everything that it provides, and with how popular it's become with the mainstream, that's why Elden Ring would, in my opinion, make the most sense. And it just seems to gain popularity over time. One of the games of this generation. It's going to have a lot of other media involved, and I do feel like this is one that you would have so many options to pick from. You could make a set and then have an add-on set in the future and never run out of content. And the lore of this is so interesting. You could delve deep into some of that on the cards as well. And yeah, I think this would be a absolute win of a Universes Beyond set. Now, at the end of the day, I know not everyone loves UB sets, and I think there's a reason for that. I understand why it's not for everyone, but for me personally, they are here to stay. So I want to make the best of it and see the most interesting crossovers that we can get happen at the end of the day. If we're going to get 3 of these a year, I really want them to be incredibly interesting, fascinating, and provide the most depth for the cards themselves, but also potentially the lore as well. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like the video as always, comment, subscribe. Have a good one. My name is Jopa, and I'll catch you all later.